Hello students, welcome to CR's digital classes. Today's concept you have as Ogive curves. These are very important. For sure you'll get for long time. So let us check it out how the Ogive curves will go on. Ogive curves is nothing but it's a graphical representation. Our entire second unit is based on graphs, right? We have a rectangular bar diagrams, histogram, pie chart, like that. One of the data you have as Ogive curves. So Ogive curves is nothing but graphically will represent the data. So graphical representation of particularly cumulative frequencies we obtain, then that particular data will consider as Ogive curves. So let us check it out how it will go on. So in ogive curves, two types you have, more than technique and less than technique. More than ogives, less than ogives will call. So how it will go on, let us check it out. First, more than technique, let us discuss. So to obtain more than curve, first we need to do is more than cumulative frequencies are plotted on y-axis. When we'll go for graph, exactly we'll get an idea how y-axis, x-axis will go on. Already you might have done already all the graphs and all. You might have aware very happily you might have done this graphical part. So the same thing here also, as a very basic you have ogive curves. So and upper limits of the class intervals are plotted on y-axis. This also we'll check it out while doing the graph. So the points then joined to obtain smooth freehand curve called as more than ogive. So whatever the values is get, we have to join them with freehand. That becomes a ogive curve, more than ogive. Next, let us check it out for less than. The same method you have to implement here for less than also. So less than cumulative frequencies are plotted on y-axis. So whatever the less than cumulatives will obtain, that particular column you have to consider for y-axis, and then upper limits for x-axis. So like that you need to consider y-axis and x-axis, and we'll get the points over there, right? We have to join all the points with freehand. We'll get a curve, like a shape curve will get. So that is your less than technique. So next, this all let us discuss under a problem. So mostly your ogive curves will do for continuous frequency type. So continuous data here we have check it out. 0 to 10 class intervals they have given. Some marks of the students they have given, that is 0 to 10. Who has obtained from 0 to 10 marks, those are number of students are 10 members are there. So 0 to 10 they have given, 10 to 20. So like that they will give in question itself, they'll give class intervals and frequencies. That is your marks and number of students here we have. So for such type of data, now let us discuss how to obtain less than and more than cumulatives, right? So in the first column is class intervals, that is marks, write it down. The number of students, second column you consider, that is your frequencies. So whatever the titles you have, you can consider that is nothing but our frequencies. So out of frequencies we'll obtain cumulative frequencies. That is two types of, again, the cumulatives, less than cumulative and more than. First let us discuss how less than cumulative frequencies will go on. Okay, so less than cumulatives is nothing but general cumulative frequencies, how we'll do. So the same thing let us discuss one more time. It's very important here. Without this less than and more than cumulatives you can't go for curve, and somewhere you went wrong with one addition, the entire data will go wrong. So listen properly. So how to do the less than cumulative frequency. So first value of frequency, whatever you have, carry on the same value as it is to the first value of less than cumulative frequency. LCF we wrote, right? Nothing but less than cumulative frequency. So first value of frequency carry on same for first value of less than cumulative. That particular less than cumulative should be added up to the next value of frequency. So what we have here, 10 in the less than cumulatives, right? So that to carry on 10 here plus second value in the frequencies, that is your 20. So 10 plus 20 goes to 30, like that. So next second value we have obtained, that is 30. That value should be added to the third value of the frequency values, that is to obtain less than cumulative. So 30 plus 30. 30 from less than cumulatives, 30 from frequencies. So 30 plus 30 goes to 60. That 60 again you have to add up to the next values in the frequency, that is 60 plus 50. 60 plus 50 goes to 110. Like that. First value you have to carry on same. That first value you have to add up to the second value of frequency. That second value of less than cumulative you have to add up to the third value of frequency. So that is how we'll obtain less than cumulative frequencies. So up to the last you go on doing like that, you'll get less than cumulative frequencies. So that is how we'll obtain LCF. Now let us check it out how MCF will go on, more than cumulative frequencies. Now how to do is last value of your LCF, check it out. Last value or do the totals of frequencies, that also will be same. So total if you do that, capital N will call that also will be 180, check it out. So same value of the last value of less than cumulative becomes the total of frequency. That same value you have to carry on for the first value of more than cumulatives. So always less than cumulatives you do off, the last value of less than cumulative becomes a first value of more than cumulatives. So 180 carry on here, same value where we got 180 last value of less than cumulatives, go for more than cumulatives 180. Next, to obtain second value, what you do is 180 carry on as it is, 180 minus first value of frequency again. How we have done in LCF, first value carry on as it is for LCF, right? Same here. Last value will carry on as it is. To obtain the second one, again we have to jump for frequency values. But here you have to do the subtractions. So 180 minus the first value of frequency, that is your 10. 180 minus 10 goes to 170. So you have to reduce the values by subtracting. Which values you need to subtract? Frequency values, not the less than cumulative. So always we'll do that mistake. I have observed many students that they'll be doing subtractions by mistake, they'll be taking less than cumulatives. We should never consider less than cumulatives. We have to always take frequency values. So 180 minus 10 becomes your 170. Now carry on same answer here for the third value, that is 170. You carry on here 170 minus, again go for the frequency. What you have the second frequency over there? 20. After 20 you have to do the subtraction, 170 minus 20. So that is your 150. Carry on 150 again here to obtain the next more than cumulative, minus go for the frequency again. What you have next frequency? 30. So 150 minus 30, that is 120. So that is how we'll obtain the more than cumulatives. Again check it out, next value to obtain next 120 carry on as it is for the next MCF, minus from frequency, next frequency is 50. So 120 minus 50 you will get as 70. Now carry on 70 again to the next column, 70 minus go for the frequencies, that is 40. 70 minus 40 you will get as 30. Next also you can carry on, 30 minus 30 goes to 0, that also you can identify, or you can stop at 30. So that is how we have obtained LCF and MCF values. Now let us plot that all into the graph paper. So for my convenience, I have considered again the values here, LCF, MCF. You just plot the graph after obtaining the entire table. This I have taken just for reference. So how to plot? Now let us check it out how to plot. Take a graph paper. So in graph paper, always you have to be careful to obtain the whatever the values you are plotting over there, that should be in equal intervals, right? Whenever in graph paper you are doing equal intervals, you need to consider. To obtain the equal intervals, how to do that? Check it out. We need to plot LCF, MCF, right? So let us check it out for y-axis first. So LCF, MCF to plot it, check it out the least and the highest value. So what is the least value you have here in LCF? That is 10. And what is the least value in MCF you have? That is 30 you have. So let us consider 10 on. So 10 is the least, we have to start from 10. Then what is the highest value you have? Check it out. In LCF you have highest 180. In MCF also you have 180. So that interval, whatever you consider on y-axis, should be in between 10 to 180. Now equal intervals you have to divide the data. So how we have here we have considered, check it out, from the origin 0 on will start, right? So 20 difference I have considered. So that happily my values from 10 to 180 you will get in a particular way. So 20, 40, then 60, check it out. 20, 20 difference I have considered. So 0 to 10, 20, 20 to 40. So equal intervals you need to consider. That is the rule we need to follow to plot the graph. Y-axis is done. So all the values will fall in this particular range only. So y-axis is clear. Then let us go for x-axis. So to obtain x-axis, our class intervals, whatever you have, their class intervals you have to consider. So what are the class intervals we have? 0 to 10, 10 to 20 we have, right? So upper class intervals you can consider on y-axis. What you have? That 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. That are all upper class intervals you can consider on x-axis. So 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Like that I have considered. So what is the difference here? This interval also you need to consider. So 0 to 10, 10 centimeters I have considered, isn't it? So that also scaling here in scale particular values, whatever you have considered, you have to mention here. That is x-axis for 1 centimeter I have considered as 10 marks, right? The titles you can utilize here. So those are marks, right? Class intervals is nothing but marks we have. So 10 marks we have considered. So 0 to 10, check it out. 0 to 10, 10 marks you have considered. So every 10, 10, 10, 10 marks difference we have considered for x-axis. Now let us check it out. Y-axis. Y-axis what you have? 20, 20 difference we have considered, right? So those are the cumulative frequencies. So that I have considered here with the 20, 20 difference. So whatever the intervals you consider, that you have to mention as a scale over there. X-axis and y-axis. That is how the scale part will be done. Now let us plot the graphs. X-axis, y-axis, all you need to mention. Keep the titles also. Whatever the exam question they'll give the same titles. If they don't mention, just consider as class intervals and the frequency. So definitely they'll mention some of the data like marks and cumulative frequencies or number of students. Whatever the titles you have, you can carry on here. So give the titles. Now less than and more than ogives. Let us obtain how to do that. Now let us first plot less than cumulatives. Now what is the first value we have? First value is 10. How to plot? Start from x-axis first. So x-axis, where is our 10? Here we have 10, right? From y-axis values you need to consider. That is your in between 0 to 10 you need to consider. That is 10 you need to plot. So 0 above some value somewhere, 10 you will get. Here you need to plot the first value. Then next value what you have for 20, you have LCF as 30. So first class interval for 10 we have done. For 10, that is your 10 itself. So somewhere y-axis, somewhere it will have the data, right? So somewhere it will be 10. So I have taken a dot here or a cross mark you do. And then let us go for the second one. For second class interval, what you have? Upper limits we have need to consider, right? So second upper limit you have 20. So for 20, what is y-axis value? That is 30 you have. So 30, somewhere between 20 to 40 it will be. Here it goes 30. So check it out. It's intersections. Exactly intersections becomes our value. Keep a dot over there. Next, for 30, x-axis 30 and y-axis LCF value is 60 we have. So 30, 60 exact value you have. Happily check its intersection part. This becomes your intersection. Keep a dot over there. That becomes your intersection part. Next, go for next value. That is for range of 40. You have 110. So 110 value. So you need to consider above 100, below 120. That is here somewhere you'll get as 110. So exactly keep a dot for its intersection part. 40 and 110. 40 from x-axis, 110 from y-axis. So plot it. Keep a dot over there. Then next value is for 50. What's the value you have? 150 you have. So 150 somewhere you'll get above 140 and below 160. That is here you'll get as 150. Keep a dot for its intersection. Now next last value you have 180 for 60th class interval. So for 60, plot 180 exactly you have its intersections from x-axis, from y-axis. 180 will fall here. Keep a dot. Now with the free hand join them. So start from beginning to the ending just with the free hand. No, don't use any scale. Here curve will get. So curve we can't frame with scale, right? So with the free hand just join each and every dot. Go on joining. So as an S shape, check it out. Let's just like S shape, you'll get a less than ogive. So write down its title. that is less than Ogive. So this is how we'll obtain less than cumulative frequency. Now let us go for more than cumulative plotting. Same as it is how we have just now we have done upper limits on x-axis, y-axis should be the more than cumulatives. Now check it out. X-axis for 10 we need to plot for 180. So 180, 10, its entire column, check it out, the dark rectangle you have, no, go for 10 and check it out where 180 falls. So for lower limits you need to plot more than cumulative, so 0 on 0 becomes 180. So exactly on our y-axis line only you need to, because 0 is exactly on the same line, right? So 0 to 180, 180 plot on the same line, y-axis line, keep a dot over there. Next for upper limit 10 you have, so for 10 plot 170 on y-axis, x-axis 10, y-axis 170. So 10, y-axis 170, below 180 somewhere in between you will get 170, go for it, keep a dot over there. Then next value for 20, class interval 20 and 150 you need to plot on y-axis. So check it out, 20, go for the dark line up to 150. So where it will fall? Above 140, 150 you have, check it out. So keep a dot for its intersection. So similarly, let us go for the next value for 30th value, 30th class interval, and the value is 120 you have in MCF, that you have to check it out in y-axis. So where it will go for the 30, x-axis 30, its intersection for 120. Somewhere here, check it out, 120 is here, so keep a dot for its intersection. Similarly, go for the next value, that is 70 you have. So 40th class interval, so check it out where it will fall. 70, above 60 here, you will get as 70. So that intersection part, keep a dot here. Finally, last value, 30 you have in MCF for 50 class interval. So for 50, 30, above 20 you get, check it out. There, keep a dot for intersection for 30 and 50. So now all the dots we got, now join them with a free hand. So like this curve you will get, so entire line you join. So that becomes your more than cumulative frequency. So write it down, its title, more than Ogive. So in this way we'll obtain more than and less than. Mostly you'll get is like X. Like that you'll get two curves. So less than Ogive and more than Ogive. So this is how we'll plot more than and less than Ogives. So sometimes they'll be asking median also. To obtain the median, what you have to do is check it out, its midpoint, both the lines where it has joined. You just check it out somewhere it will fall here, right? So its intersection, check it out, and y-axis where you got, it is in between, exactly in between 80 and 100, that is the middle line, that is 90 you got. So median becomes 90. So sometimes they'll be asking Ogive curves and give its median also. So whenever you draw the graph, wherever intersection will obtain for more than and less than, exactly keep a dot and check it out the line on y-axis where it is joining. So that particular value becomes a median. That's what we wrote here. Median is equal to 90. So median, if they ask, that also you can plot in the Ogive curves. So this is how we'll obtain the Ogive curves. It's very important from this unit. Definitely you may expect Ogive curves. So this is how we'll be plotting Ogive curves. Thank you.